Hello, my name is Radukunda Pacific. I'm a group representative of Group 4. Uh, our module of environmental science component of climatology in Group 8. Presented. So our topic is evaporation. I'm going to take a time to present more about evaporation. This is bibliography. Is a website I have chosen some photos. The first website we use is Argo News. Other it is Pinterest. Third one it is Twinkly. The fourth is Greeks for Greeks. This is the objectives for study evaporation, the objectives of learning about our topics. The first objectives of study evaporation, it is to understand the water cycle, how water are formed. The second objectives of studying evaporation, it is improving water management, to know how we can manage water, how water are managed in clear way. The third one, it is to enhance agriculture practice. This is the this is the main objectives of study evaporation, because in agriculture we need evaporation for many activities, for many purposes, and for many agriculture practice methods. The fourth one, objectives of studying evaporation, it is evaluating environmental practice, to evaluate weather condition, to evaluate another activities within environment. These is our fourth main objectives of studying evaporation. So now I'm going to take more explanations about evaporation, the meaning of evaporation, what is evaporation first of all. I'm going to present about what is evaporation, but about evaporation you can explain it at different ways. But now I'm going to present it as the natural process. Evaporation as the natural process is the process of transformation of water from liquid state to a gaseous state driven by solar energy. For example, like when it become like on lakes, on rivers, and another water sources, where water become air during sunlight lies on it. So now I'm going to make another meaning of evaporation according to physical change. As you know, lastly we talked about evaporation as the natural process, but now we are going to make meaning of evaporation as phase change. Evaporation, it occurs at the surface water bodies, soil, and plant facilitate the water cycle. It is when in the soil we can lose water, when in water bodies like ocean, river, lakes, we can lose water, when the plant lose the water like in the morning, that facilitate the water cycle in their change and in their life. So I'm going to make a presentation about water cycle formation or evaporation formation. Evaporation, it become when sun lays on water bodies, and the water body or water, it become the air. This is what you call evaporation process, where water become air by caused by heat that comes from the solar energy. Thank you. This is end of my presentation. Let's invite my other colleague to continue with another process of evaporation.
Hi guys, I'm Belle Tony. I'm going to continue to talk about evaporation. Um, evaporation in crops. Evaporation is the conservation of water from plants and soil into vapor, which which is then released into the atmosphere. So as you know, early in the morning, there are some waters on the crops. When the sun rise, those water evaporate and goes into the atmosphere. Example of evaporation in our daily life. Hot tea getting cold. When you cook tea and you place there, and when the hot water evaporates into the atmosphere, the, that tea becomes cold. Wet clothes drying in the sun. When the you wash the clothes and you put it onto the sun in order to become dry, the water from those clouds evaporates into the atmosphere. Evaporation of inspiration from the body. When you're sweating, some sweats evaporate from your body. Drying from moist floor or drying for wet hair. So we are going to talk about the introduction of evaporation in agriculture. How evaporation occurs in agriculture. Evaporation plays a circular role in agriculture process, affecting irrigation, planting growth, and soil moisture. Understanding this nature phenomena is essential for optimizing farm management. So how evaporation occurs in agriculture. For example, where in the soil there are some minerals like water, oxygen, and etc. So that water which are on the soil, when the sun rises, the water evaporates and goes into the atmosphere in order the plants to grow with the water which are needed for the plants. So thank you. Evaporation in crops is the conservation of water from plant and soil into vapor, which is then released into the atmosphere. So this process is essential for regulating plant temperature, nutrient uptake, and overall growth. It occurs through transpiration in plants and evaporation from the surface, and this influenced by various environment factors. So here we are going to talk about how evaporation occurs on plants. The water is extracted by the roots, travels through the plant vocal system, and exists through the structure called stomata on the underside of the leaves. Some of the soil water is retained from the biological process of the plant, while the process of evaporation that happens in the stomach cools the plants. So here I'm going to talk about the factors that influence evaporation in agriculture. include the following. First, temperature. High temperature leads to increased evaporation rates, impacting soil moisture levels. That's how temperature occurs or influence the evaporation. The second one is humidity. Low humidity levels contribute to faster evaporation, affecting agricultural water resources.
So hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm by the names of Ndikman Lambert. I'm going to proceed on this topic. We are talking about factors affecting evaporation on agriculture. So we are on the factors which is solar radiation. As we know, solar radiation provide energy plant needed to convert carbon dioxide and water into carbohydrates and the oxygen. As we know, the carbohydrate produced by photosynthesis, which are used for vegetative and reproductive growth of plants. So, as a factor is soil type. As we know, the soil type can affect the amount of receiving water, amount of growth, amount can affect the increase of plant due to the evaporation, because there are some moisture which around on the earth which can allowed by the soil and which affect the growth of plant. The next factor is wind speed. As we know, the higher wind speed enhance evaporation, influencing the drying of soil and plant. The other factor is plant canopy. The density of plant canopy around the solar panel can block sunlight and reduce amount of electricity generated. To talk about the importance of understanding evaporation factors. So first is water management. Knowledge of evaporation factors help in efficient water usage and planning irrigation. As we know, this water management combined by many things. As we provide us the knowledge of controlling the usage of water and how we can planning for irrigation. Second one, help in crop health. Understanding evaporation contributes to better assessment of crop requirement, ensuring their healthy growth. So here, these evaporation factors help to understand how we can ensuring that our crops are healthy without any diseases. So other importance is soil preservation. It aids in soil moisture preservation and prevent water loss through evapotranspiration. So these evaporation factors help us know how we can conserve our soil so that our when we are going to plant, our plant can grow well and get all nutrients required by plant. So let's proceed on evaporation processes. So as you know, evaporation processes include in four steps. First step is evaporation. So we know water evaporates under the sun heat. When the sun rises on the water it gets heated, and after heated water it's evaporated. Second step is condensation. Water condenses in atmosphere to form cloud. As we know, if after water evaporates, there's the air evaporates, and then there are time which evaporates and then form clouds. Okay, so the step is precipitation. Water is released from the cloud. As we know, if water are condensed, after condensed, there are process which called a precipitation which will occur, which where water is released from where water is released from the cloud. That cloud condenses, finally it gets heated and then it turns into water. So fourth step is collection. Water are collected and held in different areas. As you know, during the rainfall, the amount of water, some collected in rivers, collected in lakes, collected in seas. So this step is where during the amount of water is collected to different areas. Okay, so this is the structure which interpreted the evaporation process. As we see here, the first step, as I told you, is evaporation. You see here, the after the amount of water in lakes, in rivers, in seas, after getting heated, it evaporates. After after evaporates, and also there are sometimes the amount of water is received by what is by plant. After received by plant, that water are gained into transpiration. Transpiration is a process by which plant lose water in the form of vapors. Yeah. After transpiration, what that amount of air evaporate reach an atmosphere and then make condensation. After condensation, they form cloud, as I said. Then the after condensation, there are step which called precipitation, which can provide rainfall and turn into collection in hills and then in rivers. So it's like a zigzag. It's like a circle. Yeah. Okay, let's we jump on evaporation process on crop contribution. So, properties of soil such as its texture, moisture content, and can impact evaporation rates as well with the sun terrain, generally facilitating quicker evaporation than clay-rich soil. So, the properties of soil uh, can facilitate in impact of evaporation rate. There are some soil which are less than cloudy and so on, and also plant characteristics. Soil attribute and evaporation elements are the key influence of evaporation in crop. Vegetation with expansive surface area and elevated transpiration level typically emit more moisture into the air.
As you have heard before, evaporation is the change of liquid into gases. Let us proceed with positive impact of evaporation on agriculture. The first one is water management. Evaporation impact irrigation and crop water by influencing agriculture productivity, because as the crops lost water, it means that they are reaching in harvesting period. Another one is soil health. Regulating evaporation can prevent soil salinity, preserving the fertility of farmland. Another positive impact of evaporation on agriculture is climate control. Evapotranspiration regulating temperature and humidity, which affect crop growth. As liquid change into gases, it will affect the climate, and as the climate being affected, it will generate sometimes rainfall or humidity, which affect plant growth. Yeah. The negative impact of evaporation on agriculture, the first one is soil dehydration, because as you have heard, however, evaporation has a positive impact on the plants. Once it occurs in excess, it can lead to soil degradation, which make it difficult for some plants to grow, and they also reduce water availability, because it means water change to gases. It means there is scarcity of water, which lead to shortage of water available for plants to grow. Another negative impact of evaporation is impact livestock, as water, as there is a scarcity of water, it will affect animals where they live, which make them sometimes to dehydrate, just lack their waters, which leads to decrease in crop yield and affecting crop production. The impact of evaporation in climatology. As evaporation, water change into gases, it will affect weather patterns, where it will contribute to formation of clouds and precipitations, which affecting regional climates, and also global water cycle. Evaporation is key component of the water cycle, influencing water events globally. Evaporation contributes to the formation of clouds and precipitation, which affecting regional climate. In short, evaporation will help in water cycle and also formation of clouds. Let us look at the principles of evaporation pan. This is how evaporation pan works. The first, the pan is installed in the field. It means that you can locate it in the field where you want to operate your operations. Also, the pan is filled with known quantity of water. It means that you measure the amount of water to be used. It means the surface area is known and water depth is also measured. And then also rainfall, if any, also it is measured simultaneously or regularly. After 24 hours, the remaining quantity water also is measured and the depth of water also is measured. In short, that is how evaporation pan works. Evaporation pans will help to know the rate of evaporation, the amount of water lost or changed into gases.
The last principle of evaporation pan is the amount of evaporation per unit. The difference between the two measures the water depth is calculated. This pan evaporation pan is measured in millimeter per 24 hours. Let me conclude here the conclusion and key takeaways. The first point, water management. Understand evaporation helps to optimize water usage in agriculture. Our other point is climate modeling. Studying evaporation contributes to more accurate climate prediction and weather pattern. As my colleague says before, evaporation is transformation of water from liquid state to gas state driven by solar energy. Here there is many questions. Someone will ask you, the first question, if someone asks you the process by which liquid turns into gas, the answer is evaporation. Evaporation is a process by which liquid turns into gas, usually due to absorption of heat. Other question you must know, if someone asks you if it has the highest rate of evaporation, the answer is alcohol. Alcohol has the highest rate of evaporation compared to other liquid due to lower boiling point. The next question, you must know the process of water evaporation from the earth's surface and forming cloud. The answer is its process is called water cycle. Water cycle is continuous of water evaporating from earth's surface, forming cloud, and then returning to the earth's surface as precipitation. The other question is need to know, or if someone asks you factor can increase the rate of evaporation. Those factor is, the first factor is increasing of surface area of the liquid. The second is decrease the air pressure. Third is increasing of wind speed. The other question must know, if someone asks you the process by which water vapors in the air condense and form liquid water drops. Those process is condensation. Condensation is a process by which water vapor in the air condense and form liquid water drops, such as in the formation of cloud and hail. If you need more information about evaporation, here there is reference. The first one is Ag News Law. Ag News Law contains more information about evaporation. The second one is Pinterest. Pinterest gives you more information about evaporation. The third thinking, last one is Geeks for Greeks. Those are different. If you need more information, they go there and make more information about evaporation.